Welcome to the November 15th open board session. Would you please stand and do the Pledge of Allegiance? Thank you. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Good turnout for a rainy day with the odd Wednesday. Executive General Manager's report.
Thank you, Mr. President. Members of the board and community, welcome. I will be playing the part of Jason Ewalls over here to handle the executive session items. But first, we're going to talk about the General Manager's report, and we're going to hope that the computer will work. There we go. Okay. So we have the General Manager's report. So a couple of things I do want to announce before I begin the meeting is that you will have in the front this little did you know. We're going to start producing these little did you knows on civil code questions because these questions do come up several times over the last 7 years at least that I have been serving as the general manager here. These questions come up, and now these will be added to the archive of frequently asked questions, and so we'll also provide them at board meetings. This will grow probably as items come up that are continuous questions. We'll make sure to add that. Also, I want to respond to a message to management that several members have submitted through message to management, and this is regarding the bunker project. And so I understand that there's been some concerns regarding the deferral of the final phase of the bunker project. The board made the decision to defer this project to 2025 due to the following: an increased project cost that was above the budget estimate, the impact on the repair and replacement funds for that year, and the impact on members' play after previous projects required the membership to pause playing or pause using the amenity. The project total that has been done through phase 1, 2, and partial of 3 is roughly $706,000. The board is focusing on the 2025, thank you for the volume up, for the 2025 calendar year to address the final phase of the bunker project, as well as addressing irrigation and the perimeters of the golf course that is next to the homeowner's property. This will allow time for the project to plan the project, review and communicate the impact on golfers and members. In the end, the board strives to balance the needs of the HOA corporation, the needs of the membership, and the impact on amenity closures. So now we're going to do also a new thing that we're going to start for the next year as well is kind of laying out some brief points of my general manager's update. Some quick updates. The 2024 annual budget has been finalized. It was done at the October meeting, and members should receive the budget packet by the end of this month. Election date for the CC&R amendment, the reserve replenishment assessment will be on December 7th. And as I was just reminded by a delegate, the delegates do play a part in that. So as soon as this meeting concludes, Tammy and I will go back to the office, and a draft email will be sent out to the delegates to remind them December 7th their participation is needed in this CC&R amendment election, or election for the CC&R amendment. Ballots have been mailed. You should have already received those. Or if not, please check your mail. The South Clubhouse pool will remain open for members to utilize during the winter. The board understood the concerns that members brought up about not being able to use the pool during the winter. The project will be deferred to May or June of 2024. Now, the North Clubhouse pool and spa resurfacing and deck was supposed to begin today. Mother Nature had a little part to play, and so that will be starting shortly. We're also going to be, this is another item that members have been commenting on, is the slope maintenance. When does it happen? 3 times a year? What part of the year? How long is it? And so Mark Schleiden is going to be working with Good Day Sun Lakes to do a slope maintenance schedule and kind of an education of when Maintenance is done on the slopes. Now, New Year's Eve celebration. The tickets go on sale beginning Monday, November 27th. The price is $60 per person. Now, continuing on with the New Year's Eve celebration, space is limited, so we will be using a lottery system for the members to pick their tables. The lottery box will be located at the receptionist desk beginning Monday, November 27th to Sunday, December 3rd. Table locations will be drawn on Monday, December 4th at 9:30 a.m., and you must be present to pick your table. If you have questions on this, please see the Recreation Department. They'll be there to assist you. You can see Felicia or Linda. Now, there's also been questions about the ballot. I don't understand the ballot. I just wanted a simple yes or no. And so what you have there is you have a copy of the ballot right there. And you see that there's a little section that says, I, we consent, approve. I, we do not consent or approve. So what you need to know, if you would like the CC&R amendment to pass, that's a yes, you will click you will fill in the little bubble there that says, I, we consent, approve. If you don't want it, then you would in this section that says, I, we do not consent and disapprove, it's disapprove there, then that is a no, so that there's been some confusion. The ballots didn't come out. It's not an easy yes or no. So I wanted to make sure, and this will also be on the website, so it's a yes or no and what it means. Next, as requested by a member and the board agreed, the next management report that I'm going to be doing for the month of October will include a new table, and it's the top 10 vendors paid each month. And so the membership can see, okay, on a monthly basis, the checks that are cut out of accounts payable, who were the vendors and how much was that monthly amount. So every month you'll see the top 10, and usually it's always going to be Spectrum and City of Banning, because of course Spectrum is our bulk cable, our phone, internet. The City of Banning is our water, our electricity, and our sewer costs. And then working way down, Artistic, Securitas, down there is First Service, and Cisco. And so each month you'll see that, and this is, again, a report of payments that are not reimbursements, but payments. So you might say, Chris, what is a reimbursement? Well, reimbursement for First Service is reimbursing for the payments, the payroll for Tammy and myself. That's a reimbursement. These are non-reimbursable items. So you'll begin to see that on the next management report that I am working on right now. And ladies and gentlemen, Thursday Night Football is back. I want to thank, of course, Hernan and the team and Spectrum, because we will be able to get around the Prime issue and be able to have Thursday Night Football in our Sandwich Bar and Grill starting tomorrow. There was first an email this morning. There were some date issues and spelling issues, and it was reissued. But again, starting tomorrow, you can go see the Bengals and the Ravens. It's an important game for the AFC North, so that is tomorrow. Go Browns. Okay, finally, I'd like to welcome a new leader to the team. Linda Vang will be the new recreation manager. And this is after 4 recreation directors since after Jason. Linda has been the rock of Gibraltar, so to speak. And so what is going to happen, we're going to configure it, is that Linda is the recreation director. Jason will still oversee basically the public interface right now as we train Linda. Linda already knows how to do everything, tie shoes, dot I's, cross T's, all that good stuff. She knows how to do it like Tammy knows everything to the back of her hand. But what we want to do is begin to train her for some of the director duties. How do we interface with corporate? How do we interface with other entities? And so we're going to be working. Ultimately, the goal is that one day she will be the recreation director, and Jason can just be the assistant general manager or general manager. But right now, so I want, again, congratulate Linda. I think she's going to do a great job. I know the members really have enjoyed working with her. And it's really a good story that Linda started here in the food and beverage department and has worked her way up. And I'm very impressed with her. And so, again, looking forward to her interaction with the members. And so now we're going to go on to the lounge expansion update. So this is part 2 of the GM report. And as promised, I know the members had heard, when are we going to get an update? When are we going to get some information on this project? And so today we have Jorge Perez right there. He's going to join me. And actually, Jorge, if you want, you can sit in the middle in the hot seat. All you have to do is press the microphone when it's ready. We're going to go over some items on the lounge expansion, so bear with me here. It's a different PowerPoint. Okay, so this is, Jorge and I are going to team up to work on this one. So first I wanted to give a timeline. Now, this project has been talked about probably since 2021. Different boards have talked about it, the ideas, going out and expanding out to the veranda. There's been talk about fire pits, and so what has happened is May this year, the board said, we need to look and kind of get a realistic view of what the lounge expansion should be. And so the board engaged design and architectural services, Being Design, as well as Paul Allen's PAC Architectural, to work on the drawings and get the designs. From August to October, the staff, board, and the vendors have worked all together to development of the plan and finalize the drawings. We did a town hall on that. Jorge, you were here for that. Got some good feedback from members. And so, that we continued on through October. During that time also, and there are things, and you'll see when Jorge goes over his design items, it's just not simply, put this here, put this there, and it's going to work. There are things that go behind the scenes on structure, lighting, accessibility that have to be thought out. And so that's what's taken some time, as well as then getting cost estimates out in the world. In an environment where costs are going up, trying to get the most realistic cost for the project. And so in November, this month, cost estimates were received, and the plans were submitted or in the process of being submitted with the city of Banning. We will also it's now probably going to be after Thanksgiving, begin developing the RFP, and into December, issuing that RFP, and these will be in collaboration with the Procurement Advisory Committee. You might remember that committee has worked with us on the projects and the RFPs that we've done for landscaping, for community patrol, and so this will be another one that the PAC will be working with the board and First Service staff. And then we're targeting January that the board would make a decision if they're going to proceed or not on this. So let's dig into some of the estimates that we have received. So right now, and we'll go over the design in a minute, but the estimate right now for the construction and the furniture, fixtures, and equipment is roughly $753,000 for the project. Now, it would be broken into 2 types of funds would be funding this. Number 1, the repair and replacement fund, and that is a fund that is used if something is existing. An existing chair for a new chair, that is what you would use repair and replacement for. A capital improvement, on the other hand, would be this is a brand new item that we are changing. This is a whole new design of the ceiling, the structural supports for it. Anything that is not a new, or it's a new item that is not in existence, that would be funded by capital improvement. And so the split based on working with the architect and Being Design is that the repair and replacement funds would be about $165,000 roughly, just rounding up. And for capital improvement would be about $579,000. That would be what the funding mechanism would be for this project. Now, this is an estimate, and it needs still to go out to an RFP. The prices that come back could be higher, they could be lower. but this is the best estimate that we received out on the open market of what the construction would be. And again, where we were 2 years ago, year and a half ago, of looking to expand into the veranda, looking to expand to a fire pit, it's now been, no, we're curtailing it to the existing footprint, makes it cost effective, as well as the approval of the city for new parking. You're not changing the existing footprint. And that brought it down, because I know there were cost estimates out there that people were talking about $1.5 million, $2 million. But when you look at these changes, as Jorge is going to go through on the design aspect, that is what our best estimate is on the cost. So why have the boards for the past, since 2021, looked to expand the lounge? And that's basically been on the trends that we've seen from the membership of the bar and lounge have become more popular amenity than breakfast, than lunch. We've seen that in the numbers, and we've seen it in members' feedback. And what the project would aim to do is look and create an expanded space for members to socialize. I've talked about it. If you watched admin updates, if you heard me at the board meeting, what we've seen after COVID is the members' desire to socialize more, to get back to some type of normal, going out and being with their friends, or bringing family, or just interacting with a club. Another idea is the aim is to increase the area for dancing and designate a location for bands. And then finally is to enhance the bar for better service to the lounge and to the ballroom. Right now, as many of you seen, one of our things we talked about, that the lounge is cramped when dancing and everything, and this is one of the aims, is to rectify that. So now we're going to go into some of the notes on the project. I don't know, Jorge, if you want to start on this.
Sure. I noticed I have a misspelled word up on the board, and it's configuration, so I apologize for that. I didn't catch that until just now. So originally, when we started this project, I was asked to give 3 different concepts, and one was concept A, which was within the footprint, or concept 1. Concept 2 was to expand out a little bit towards the courtyard, and then 3 was just let's see what you got, and they asked me to go all out. So I started to design 3 different concepts. We focused on the first concept, concept 1, after we met with the board, and that concept 1, we took a lot of the input, and we came up with a 1B concept, which this is what it's going to turn into, what it's turned into. So originally, what we looked at was to stay within the footprint of our project and to reuse as much as possible as we could. So with that said, our current occupancy rate, that means how many people are allowed in the building, in the restaurant. It's posted up there on the wall, and it says 120. And our other occupancy that we had in the current lounge, we had 46 seats. Okay. After I did a small study, we showed that the restaurant, with the new expansion, would only lose, I think it was 6 seats. So we went from 120 seats to 116 seats. And that's based off of the California Building Code. And then in the lounge, we were able to go up to 2.5 times more. So currently you had 46, and I believe we are at 226. So that was a mixture of seating and standing up. It's just basically layouts, furniture layouts and things like that. A lot of the stuff that you're going to see in these drawings are the white that you're going to see is the new work, and the gray that you'll see is the existing. So I wanted to identify that. We haven't finalized selection of materials, and we have not finalized selection of furniture. Okay, so what I did was I did a layout of the potential furniture layout, and then I just wanted to show you guys what it looked like with furniture in there. So again, don't focus on the furniture, focus on the space and how we could use it. So some of the things that we were trying to do was trying to increase revenue in the restaurant. In the lounge area. So we could potentially, you have phenomenal happy hours here. And then also without cramping the style of the restaurant. So we wanted to separate the two. So Chris, do you have the little, so I'm used to standing up, so.
Actually, Hernan, do we have a mic?
It's okay, Chris.
got you.
I'll just.
I want you to stand and talk.
So, as you can see, what I wanted to show, this is the new design, and this is what you would see
Mike coming.
if you were in the hallway, standing right back here behind the ballroom. And you know that long, narrow hallway with the trophy case that we have right here? If you look straight back in, you'll see that we've opened it up.
Just
Oh, thank you.
stay back here.
Okay. I'm not gonna.
You can't point over there?
No, you can go over there.
Yeah, you can go over there.
Okay.
Yeah, stay behind the speakers above your head.
Behind the speaker, I'll just. Now I'm nervous. Okay, all right. Chris, the pointer's right there, okay. So as you can see, as you walk up the hallway, we have actually black carpet right in here. And this is tile that we would do, a new set of new tile, which would create wayfinding. And then this would be a tile that simulates wood as well for the floor. So as we move in, as we move into the space, again, these are just proposed layouts of furniture, but it's the space that we're really trying to look at. As you move in, farther into the space, you'll see that this is the edge of the bar, right here, and then that this walkway, it's about a 5-foot wide walkway that walks all the way through back to the restaurant. We've separated the restaurant with a wall here, and we've created a host station right in here. And what's really important to notice is that we have things that identify where you're going to be going. So it's kind of a wayfinding for people to walk through. As we move in, now we're standing at the bar and we're looking into the domed area. We've removed the walls that were sitting in this area and this area in here as well to open up the space. It was really, really tricky when we were designing it. So what ended up happening is, in order to make this look right, do you see this band that I'm flashing right here, this gray band? Okay, that's the existing line of the windows. So when you go in there and you look up at those windows, the arches, the big windows, you'll see that that line, I tried to communicate a line that comes across for the design. So it looks like it's built into the project, like it was always there. And these pilasters right here and here, they're about 14 inches, so they're about this wide. And they go up to the ceiling, and they house columns. There are some steel columns that are in this area right here that are structural components. The other part is as we took away the walls and opened this back wall up, we wanted to maintain the original ceiling heights and tie it into this dome area as well. So you'll see that we wanted to make it interesting, but we wanted to make it look like it was there forever. So now we're standing back in, you know how the bar turns back around the corner? And now we're standing looking at that open space. The chandelier that sits in the middle of the room is right there. The 3 big windows that are here. And then this right here is a valance for the sunscreens to come down. So you don't see that ugly part as the mechanisms for that. But you could see that the windows are now open and opened up. And then what we'll do as we go around the room, you'll see that we maintain the arches in the back of the room. We maintain that little arch part so it looks uniform. So you'll see right here, you have the arch going here, the full arch. Then we have the archway here, and this is a new wall right here. I'm sorry it's not white, I just noticed that. But this is the existing arch, and then this is a wall. This is where we would end up putting a temporary stage to listen to bands, so or comedians or whatever you guys, poetry reading, whatever you guys have there. And then these could be this could be a TV wall as well. So there'll be a temporary stage that comes in that they can break down. But if you look, we've maintained, see the arch in the back here, and we've maintained the walk to the restaurant. And what we've done is we've done that with wayfinding. So we're using 2 to 3 different materials on the floor so you can know your walkway through. Again, here's the columns or the pilasters. Here is the arch, or I'm sorry, the area, the round area within the building. And then we've changed the ceiling up in here. We've dropped the ceiling a little lower. When you're in there and you look at these boards that we have in the back, you can start to see how the ceiling is going to work. And that was a big, tricky part of this design work. And we've recessed this in here to give this some visual interest. And then we have coffered ceilings here with false beams. So you can see now we're looking from the host stand straight down the hallway. So there is a clear vision across the room. And then we've dropped, along the bar, we've dropped a little area right in here so we can transition all the way up to the original ceiling that's back there at the bar. Okay. And again, now we're standing at the far corner, in the back corner of the room, and we're looking across. And as you can see, there are, I said 86 places to sit in here. So 86, and then you also have, did I say it was 126 was the occupant load? So in this area, you still have room for dancing. So you, just to walk around. So that means 86 could be seated, and then the other 40 people could be walking around, standing, socializing. Again, notice the arches. Here's the arch, and then see how we treated this arch with the banding around the dome area. Okay, so this is the host stand and the entrance into the restaurant. There is a bench seat right here with movable furniture. All of the furniture can be moved. Well, we're still in the process of selecting it, so we're not fixed on it. But here are the coffered ceilings that you could see. And again, this was reusing some of our existing ductwork. But what we found out now that the air conditioner up there has exceeded it's exceeding its life cycle. So we'll probably replace the air conditioning into both of the rooms, which will be part of a replacement cost. So here, again, this is the entrance. Here's the host station. There's artwork that you could put around here. I would recommend that if you have local artists, which I believe a retirement community has a lot of artists, you could also, in the space, show artwork from people, homegrown artwork. So I think it also becomes a gallery for you as well. It's flexible space. So now this is standing in the domed area, back at those windows, looking at the bar. Again, artwork, the kitchen door, and then more artwork there, TV, and then this is this back door here that out of the ballroom. And then, do you notice we have some brass bars right here? So when you're at the pool, you can walk out, you can walk through the bar and walk up and have a place to grab a drink without having to sit at the bar. And then, again, this was proposed type of seating. It's a lounge, so it's just furniture configuration. So it's how you guys feel comfortable using the space. So this is standing straight across on the other side of the room, and then you could see how the ceiling is working and how we've created visual interest with the ceiling. And then there's a little countertop right here, so when you're dancing, you might be able to put your drink on that bar. Again, big windows, and then we've added a door in this area here for exiting, and then you see the bench in the back. This is what the ceiling would look like if you were to look up along the walkway to the restaurant. And what happens is we'll probably put LED lighting in these little cove lights there, so it'll illuminate it and make it give it more visual interest. Again, this is the coffered ceiling, so you see this is along the walkway, and then this is over the seated area that we have. So this is coffered with fake beams or faux beams. And then these are decorative registers, so the air conditioning vents. And then these are little light cans and fire sprinklers. So you can see we've kind of we've balanced it out, and we've really looked at what the ceiling's going to look like as well. Again, now we're looking inside of the domed area, and you could see how we've addressed. So the gray is the existing band, and then we've dropped the ceiling on the white, and this is all existing up in this area here. Same image. So now we're looking at the door to the outside. We're talking about pouring a little patio out there, so you could be in the lounge and also step outside. And some of you are smokers, some aren't, but it could be a place to smoke or to actually serve drinks and watch the sunset. This is looking from the bartender's perspective. You can see that it's really, the whole feel of this space is open. This is what it would look like on the outside, the new set of doors. Bob asked me to include this. As you could see that we matched the doors. These doors actually have the mullions that you see there, but the windows don't. So this is what it would look like. So there's really no change. We just made the opening a little bit wider to get a pair of doors in there and to get more light into the space, because it is a little dark. And then this is that lounge configuration that you saw. So the first picture, we were standing about here, and we looked all the way through. The second picture, we were looking this way, and I just kind of went around the room with the images, so you could really see what it looks like. And then these are just, when you go to look at these boards, you can see what is new tile, where we're putting a new door into the kitchen, another door into the kitchen. That was the one that had the sign that said kitchen over the top of it. This is the wall between the restaurant. So you can see it's just a simple wall. And then this is the restaurant portion where it's at now. And again, you'll see there's an occupancy number right here. I apologize that it's blurry, but you'll be able to see those on the bigger boards. Also, where the scope of work is happening. This is what the ceiling looks like. So you could see that from the models, you could see that this was how those recessed panels were set up, plus the lighting, and then you could see the dome in here, and then you could see the coffered ceilings in here. There's an area right in here that we're going to, since this is all open in here right now, we're going to continue the ceiling, the surround, to make it look uniform as if it was always there. And of course, thank you. I'll leave that up to the...
Yes, if we're going to have any questions, just being design questions for our design expert, Jorge, the first question I would have is that Are we expanding the bar window here to get better service?
Yes, we
into
are.
the-
Let me go back to that. Apologize for not showing
okay.
it. So, I'll run back through the pictures. Here's the first part. You see this window? There's a window right here with it'll have a roll-up door in there. And we've added in that cost, we've added another cocktail station. So the bartender, when you guys get really busy, they can work through the orders. You see the window is right back here. And that is where, they'll be serving drinks for this area. So it should be back around where the mirror is at in this back room. And that window that's existing there is going to get moved closer towards the stage. So if you look back in the back of the room here, you can see where the service counter will be.
Bigger? No.
No, you have the three let me go to the floor plan. It is growing. Okay. This is your existing bar right here. See this configuration right here? Except this piece isn't there. So you have a station 1, a station 2, and then here would be a third station. So if you want, after this little presentation, I can show you back on the board. It'll be a lot clearer to see. But it takes you from 2 stations now to 3 stations. Okay? Yeah.
If
Could
you have a
step up
question,
to
if
the-
you could come up to this microphone, please, since we're recording and everybody probably has your question too.
Kate Reed, Rio Bravo Drive. I'm a little confused because it appears that we still have only one window into the ballroom for access to cocktails that we currently have. Is that going to be enlarged or?
Well, currently, the window that you have back over here is too far over. And if you look at it, it's actually over part of the cocktail station that doesn't actually work. It's sitting right about here.
Okay.
So what we've done is we've made it twice as big, twice as wide, and we've dedicated the station. There's a whole cocktail station to that. So in order for this, instead of having 2 bartenders, now you have 3 bartenders.
Okay, so the cocktail station would have the
Everything.
the pumps and all of that
Yes.
stuff to make the cocktails
Yes.
and the ice and all that.
Yes, and we've worked with Coca-Cola, and I know the staff has worked with Coca-Cola and their vendors, and they've plumbed new lines, so they've made it more efficient. We've also changed the configuration of this big storage room here to make it easier for them to have their soda, their CO2, and then wine and alcohol storage more at their fingertips.
Okay, I just have one more question. It seems to me it bogs down when it comes time for payment. The bartenders are quick, they're getting your drinks out, but when we go to pay for them, you have to do your club card and your other
Ma'am,
card.
I don't work on that stuff.
Well, are they going to include a place there? See, they only have
We have
2 places to do it now.
We have iPads that the staff are trying to use, they're using more. So you can use your iPads to actually take costs. That's a point of sale system. I'm just basic design, ma'am. That's why. It's Kate?
Okay. Yes.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's more about design on my part, not on how you guys run the restaurant.
Right, thank you.
Question about the doors, the new doors that are put in the back there. I spend a little bit of time at the bar, and when the door opens, I feel a draft now. And if that door is right where all the people are sitting, in the winter, it's going to be pretty damn cold. So I'm asking why that door was put in. Is it a fire code issue?
This door here,
No, the door going out.
The new one.
this one right here.
Yeah.
This new door. Yeah, it's a fire issue. You have an occupancy load of more than 50 in the room, so it's required to have 2 exits. And the door, again, you're going to be able to open and close it. You know, it's an exiting requirement. So it's up to you. It's something that we have to have for exiting, but they can limit the access to it.
Okay, is the other possibility emergency access going through the dining room?
We're allowed to go through one space, but we had put a door there because it made it easier to get out.
Jorge, is that door like this door, which is automatic, or is it one that you actually push open and close?
It's the one that you push open.
That should make a difference
It's got
then.
panic hardware. We can make it automatic, or we can do it either way. So you just have to look at your neighbor and say, hey, close the darn door. Darn door, yeah.
Good save.
Linda Vieira, Hilton Head. Where we used to have a band in there, it was almost, if that's a clock, it would be at 5 o'clock, and you have it at 9 o'clock.
Why don't you press the button? There's a button right there, and you can point where it.
Okay, you've got it over here.
Yes.
And it used to be over here. And one of the complaints that we would have against moving the area for a band is that it would interfere even more with things that are going on in here, like
The ballroom?
concerts, yeah. Like
Okay.
concerts and plays. The noise would be now even closer to that area. And so I would recommend that you put that area back to where it was, which is at 5 o'clock rather than at 9 o'clock, if you know what I'm saying.
Again, that is, it's all furniture placement. And if you think about it, if you put a band here, the sound of the speakers is going in that direction. So when I'm talking to you, if I turn my back to you and I'm talking this way, the sound is going that way. But if I turn to you and I talk to you this way, you hear the sound. So what we're doing is we're projecting the sound this way. This wall has sound attuning insulation, and it has an STC rating, which is called a sound transmission coefficient. And this wall right here will go floor to ceiling. And then also what we can do to help minimize the sound is put some sound insulation on the wall, like they have in the sand wedge where you see the TVs, and that'll help reduce it. But again, that's an issue that we're never going to get rid of the sound completely, and that is depending when you have the bands. It's a coordination issue.
Okay, my other consideration is the hallway leading to the restaurant.
Yes, right here.
Yeah, that is the most congested area when people are lining up. People are not confining themselves to sitting at the bar stools. They stand around them, which causes congestion for people who are lining up to go into the restaurant.
Well, we've made this. This is over 5 feet wide here, and this is about 5 feet wide here. So, yeah. So, if we're sticking within the footprint, we're trying to maintain the lines that you have there. But I also do think, though, is that the change right now, the reason also why it gets congested is because you have this big structure that is blocking you from both sides. The wall is about 2 feet thick, and these pilasters are a lot smaller. And so what that'll do is that should alleviate some of the space, because you have a wall also right here and a wall right here, and then you have a box in here. Does that make sense to you? So by opening it up, and furniture placement, it'll allow you to move around in the design. remember, it's flex space. You guys will determine how you use it. I'm just showing you what it looks like with some furniture. So if you guys want to dance, if you guys are all dancers, and you all want to stand up and dance and take all the furniture out, you can do that. You know, yeah, if you want to do a sock hop, you can do that. You know, I mean, there's all kinds of stuff. Hi.
In reference to the performers, are we looking at a raised stage, or are they performing at ground level?
It will be a raised stage, but it's about this high.
That's fine. And I guess my question really is, based on that, is it, obviously it'll be removable?
Yes.
Um,
There's a
Is it-
line right here.
Yes. Is it possible to incorporate the stage to the wall so that we don't have our monitors having to shuffle a stage to and fro for occasions? Is that something that could be done?
Anything is possible as
Build
long
it
as we
in.
have the money to do it. If you want to give me some, yes. But there are ways. They also make stages that pull up and you can roll out. We have ping pong tables back in this room over here. And you can see that we basically we put them away. So again, think flex space. It's just staff will probably end up rolling things out and opening it up. What's important, though, is to have some kind of infrastructure in place, that's part of what's included in the project budget, that stage, and then also conduits and speakers that allow us to plug in there so we have a general area of where we think it should be. Okay? Anyone else? Let her rip, guys. I'm here. I'll have materials back on the board, back over here that you can look at. They're just suggestions. But again, I take my marching orders from the board. So you guys elected the board, so you can talk to the board members about things, and then they'll relay them to me.
Thank you very much, Jorge. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Great job.
And one comment I would like to make, today you heard from our design person. We also have an architect who will be getting us the plans soon. And our listening session became Coffee with the Board. So we want to do a few more of those, just a very casual conversation in the library in the next couple of months, where we can ask, you guys can come ask more questions that are not just design questions, but questions of, for service, questions of the board, questions after we get the plans and the permits and all the rest of that. We have not gone out for an RFP yet. So when that comes to happen, then we will be having more opportunity for you to ask questions. I guess that was my basic thing I wanted to say. Thank you.
Thank you. Next is executive session actions.
Thank you, Mr. President, members of the board, and community. This is the November report on executive session actions. This report will give the community an update on the actions that have taken place by the board at the executive session meeting on November 8th and November 15th, at which time litigation, member discipline, formation of contracts, and personal matters were discussed. Regarding member matters, discipline, or request, the board reviewed a request for a parking variance. The board reviewed 4 member appeals of a MAC decision. The board reviewed a member request for a golf refund. The board reviewed 3 member requests for fee waivers. The board met with members of the OPA group to get an update. The board met with a member at the member's request. The board reviewed a number of letters from members. The board conducted interviews of the FAC, Finance Advisory Committee candidates, and MAC, Master Architectural Committee candidates. The board approved the write-off of 13 delinquent accounts that were uncollectible. Under legal, the board approved the executive session minutes for October 11th and October 25th executive sessions. The board received several updates from legal counsel. The board approved the investment transaction report. The board approved to send the following account to the collection attorney for foreclosure on lien and record the notice of default on APN numbers 440-081-016, 419-300-075, 419-293-016, 440-141-031. The board reviewed legal's opinion on the draft rules and regulations. The board approved the continuation of a foreclosure on MLG account B0323034FSR. Formation of contracts. The board received updates from the management company on several items. The board received and filed the September investment activity report. The board received and filed the project activity report. The board met with the community patrol vendor to discuss the 2024 contract. This will be continued to the December 13th, 2023 executive session. The board reviewed and approved the October to November narrative and analytic reports from Securitas. Both the narrative and analytic reports will be posted to the website. The board met and received updates from Jorge Perez from Bing Design and the architect Paul Collins regarding the lounge expansion. The board approved the exemption of a vendor from Vive. The board approved purchasing 250 chairs, just like the new ones here in the ballroom, for the North and South Clubhouse. The board approved the food and beverage business plan from FSR. The board pushed off the South Clubhouse pool resurfacing to May, June, as I discussed earlier in the GM update, and will resurface the North Clubhouse pool and spa starting November 15th. The board approved purchasing 8 golf course maintenance vehicles. Those are the little gators and the little utility vehicles. And they will be coming from John Deere and Club Cart for a combined total of $120,662.56 to be funded from the Repair and Replacement Fund. The board approved the championship course Hole 15 storm drain repair for $45,931.80 with Heritage Links to be funded from the Repair and Replacement Fund. The board approved an agreement with the inspectors of election for the 2024 annual election. That completes the update on executive session actions.
Thank you. Next is sub-associations. Delegate Assembly, Doros.
Hi, good afternoon, everyone. Thank you, board, thank you, administration, and thank you, fellow members. Dolores Doherty, District 4 and Vice Chair of the Delegate Assembly. I think the biggest part of the Delegate Assembly meeting we had last Thursday is when our Chair, Joe Formino, announced his resignation. And Joe, if you're watching, please know that you will be missed. Joe has been a huge volunteer here at Sun Lakes. He was on the board of directors at one time, and he was the chair for the Delegate Assembly for 30+ years. So thank you, Joe, very much for all that you've done for all of us, and please know that we will miss you. Thank you.
Thank you. Pass action report.
I'll go ahead and handle that tonight, Bob. Friday is our court hearing with our lawsuit against the city of Banning and the developers. It is at 1:30 at the historic courthouse in Riverside at 4050 Main Street in Department 1. So hopefully within the next few days or week, we will have a result of the lawsuit to stop the warehouse. So that's all I've got to add.
Thank you. OPA project report.
Good afternoon, everyone. Everyone hear me okay? My name is Ron Varner, and I will be giving the OPA project report. And probably a number of you are saying, what the heck is the OPA project? So first thing I'll do is give a little background on the OPA project and the status of the OPA project. First of all, OPA is an acronym for Organizational Policy and Procedure Assessment. So this project is basically assessing the policies and procedures used here in Sun Lakes and by First Service Residential, the management company. The project is kind of a continuation of what started as the, well, it was originally called the Strategic Planning Initiative. It went to a Master Planning Initiative and has condensed down to the OPA project. And about a year ago, the board concluded that the former, or the way that the association has managed for 33 years was very complex and difficult, and decided to move to a governance format of managing and versus a micromanagement policy that had been used. And so the difference is that it's just the concept that most organizations use that says that boards will govern and management will manage. And we've got a combination of that going on today. And so the board concluded we needed to move on and move into the modern world of organization. So the process for moving to governing versus micromanaging is basically policy and procedure, and it's what I call, this is the way we do it around here. And so all the committees, all the functions, management have ways of doing things. Some are formal, some are informal, and some just happen because of the circumstance involved. So moving to a governance model means we just establish policy and procedure, and it's formalized. So everyone knows this is the way we do it around here, and you want to get something done, there's a process for getting it done. And so that is what's underway. The board has decided that the best way to do this is to hire a consultant, third party. The consultant hired is Karen Conlon. Most of you have seen her, that has attended some of her meetings. She is well-versed in HOA matters, best practices, that sort of thing. And so she will be heading up the project, and the OPA task force will just be assisting her in assimilating the way we do it now. So a lot of you have been involved in meetings that the OPA task force is conducting, and thank you. So anyway, so I'm kind of condensing here what our report is, so it'll be a little different than what gets posted. But what we are doing is just finding out how committees are working, what processes they're using to get things done, and whether or not they need to be formalized, and then of major importance, what policy, process, and procedure we need to have in place. So we started this where we hope to conclude this week on our information gathering, which then will be summarized and go to Ms. Conlon, who reports to the board. She will then be doing the formulation of the policies and procedures to recommend to the board, which they will review and pass on. So I probably missed some of what we put together for our report, but I think that's the major thing. And I want to thank all of you that have been involved in our meetings, because it's been really, really helpful, and we wouldn't be where we are time-wise. We hope to have this project 80% completed before next year's elections. So with that, I will relinquish the microphone to not Jason, but Jason's substitute over here.
Thank you very much. I want to thank the task force, which has been doing a lot of volunteer work, a lot of interviewing of the volunteers here, and including all of the board, First Service directors, the delegates, the committee chairs, and committee people, and they're really doing a lot of work in a short period of time, so I want to thank them for that. Next is the City of Banning. Sherry?
Good afternoon. I'm Sherry Flynn, your District 3 City Council representative. And we had a meeting last night, 5 p.m. We first had a workshop at 4 p.m. for discussing the homeless. And also, there's no longer Zoom allowed to call in to any of the meetings. That was a decision made because some areas of Northern California are getting what's called Zoom bombed with racist or anti-Semitic comments. And that has not happened in the city. I did put this on the agenda. I believe it needs to be discussed. The public needs to chime in on it, and the city council needs to debate it before we lose Zoom, because especially in my District 3 here, and half the city is over 60, they cannot come to the meetings sometimes. And it makes it very difficult to hear from my constituents if they cannot be on Zoom anymore. Also, what was discussed was a discussion of Stagecoach Days. The city is looking at ending the memorandum of understanding with Stagecoach Days, or extending it until 2026, or creating a brand new memorandum of understanding. And the meeting was very well attended for this. There's a lot of contention between the staff and the Stagecoach Days, and I won't go into the whole history of it, but basically the Stagecoach Days would like to, or association would like to buy or lease Dysart Park and take that over, improve it, and use that as their main park. I think that's something that we need to look into, because right now Dysart Park is not maintained well. I believe if a nonprofit takes it over and gets the community together, people will start donating to that, versus they don't donate to the city for parks, because we already pay our taxes. But if we have a nonprofit running that park, and we get the community to go in and plant and fix it up, and I think it's a great idea and a way to get the community to work together instead of being so far apart all the time. So that was continued. And then we also had, this was also continued, but just so you know about it, the city's discussing adding a banning identifier to the San Gregonio Avenue overpass.
like, you see the Palm Springs sign or Highland sign, and so they're looking at that. It's very expensive. It's between $1 million and $1.5 million, they think, to put the sign in, and $10,000 to $25,000 for design and renderings, and they would like to go for grants and try to get grants for that. So that's been continued. I think we need to have a committee together and explore it, so we're not spending staff money on exploring it. We need to get people from the community to form a committee to explore pursuing this as an entrance to our city. Also, last night was the Banning Animal Shelter. Finally, it was put back on there at my request, and it was to consider the contract, whether the contract is being breached, which it is. So that also was continued because we had only 3 members, council members there, and we felt that all 5 should be there to make this decision. The contract, the main thing is audits have not ever been done. Requested audits, it's in the contract. The city has not made the ARE do audits, and so when you see the funds coming in, $630,000, $400,000 from the city to support ARE, at least from ARE, there is no accountability whatsoever. Whatever numbers they put down, we are to accept. ARE also combines all her categories into the accounting of the Banning Shelter, and that needs to be separated out so we know exactly what is going from Banning. Also, donations are never categorized, and that's also in the contract, and so we don't know where donations come from. I know a developer gave $25,000 before their project was up in front of us, and you don't want to do a pay-to-play scenario, and that's why that's in the contract, so we know who's donating, whether it's money or anything else. So also, there's just a lot of controversy as far as, like, for me, it's the fiduciary duty part of it. Of course, the animals should always come first, but it's my duty to make sure this contract is being fulfilled, and that is my main focus. Also, we also had, let me see. Hang on a second. So the areas that are in compliance, maintenance not in compliance, educational programs, veterinary service, the dogs are taken to Apple Valley by car, and they're just, the records aren't there. So that will be on December 12th, and I would hope people would come. I hope that, I guess the Zoom still won't be available, but you can always send me email, and like last night I read a letter into the record that was given to me because this person could not physically come, and she lives in Sun Lakes. Okay, another issue is, I just wanted to bring this up. I have a Banning City Council Facebook page, an official page. There's been a lot of controversy the last couple days with some posts that are on there that are derogatory. And I am being associated with those posts. However, I want everyone to know that on an official Facebook page, and me as an official city council member, I by law cannot remove or ban anyone from the Facebook page. Now, they can remove their own posts, and I have asked these people to remove their own posts, but I cannot do it myself. Some people like the post, and they hate the other one. They hate that one, and they like the other one. Free speech, I'm very strong on free speech, but I do not want someone to have me remove a post and then take me to court because I have stopped someone from speaking on a official website. So people are associating me with these posters, and I didn't post it. And I'm not going to get into the fray and go back and forth and say, you shouldn't say this or you should say this. That's not my position. So people need to police themselves, people need to post things appropriately, and I have warned these people but I cannot remove it. So until they take it off, that's going to stay up. But I just don't want rumors out there associating me with these derogatory statements that were made, because I did not make them, and I do not condone them. But I can't remove them.
Thank you very much. Next is the Bingo Advisory Committee.
I'm not done yet.
I think we've run over the 3 minutes plus.
Do I have 3 minutes here? When did that start? No. I had never had 3 minutes, only people, members of
We've
the-
allowed you to speak a lot more, and
Oh, I'm sorry. Well, I would like to say that I have put on the agenda, I'll be very quick, the cannabis ordinance, a moratorium, future use of cell phones on the days, future use of Dysart Park, an update on the audit, and consideration of raising city council pay. So please come to the December 12th meeting or watch it on TV. Can't go on Zoom anymore, but I appreciate it, and I hope everyone has a wonderful, wonderful Thanksgiving.
thank you for the update. Next is Bingo Advisory Committee.
I will do that. Bingo has no update except to say that they will be dark in the month of December. There will be no bingo for the month of December, and they wanted to wish everyone happy holidays.
Common Area Advisory Committee.
Good afternoon, Doug Swenson from Common Area. Once again, the grounds and the facilities are being taken care of very, very well. We got a new janitor that's here during the day, and she's doing a fabulous job. The trees are all losing their leaves. They're all over the place, but they'll be down soon, and as soon as they get down, they can get them cleaned up, and the place will look nice and pristine once again. Also want to comment that we've got a new volunteer for our committee, which I'll put before the board next, well, I guess it'll be January now, and we look forward to additional staff to do the job that we're assigned. Thank you.
Thank you. EPAP. On deck, Finance Advisory Committee.
Hello, I'm Brian O'Grady from EPAP. Thank you, Master Board members, members of administration, facilities, and residents. I'm filling in for Candace Jenkins today. She couldn't be here. Our annual emergency preparedness drill was conducted on October 19th. We want to thank everyone that participated. You all did a wonderful job, and your hard work is recognized and appreciated. EPAP coordinators in 21 of 23 districts reported that their zone captains were surveying for injuries and damage. Locally on the radio, Securitas was able to conduct a limited evacuation with assistance from EPAP Patrol. One district was able to assist another by sending their medical rescue person to give aid, and Animal Rescue was able to retrieve and shelter a found pet. Bob Walter was able to monitor all this on the Sun Lakes radio traffic. That was a progress over having to call in from the scene of the fire. The EPAP Communications Unit was able to contact all of the emergency radio networks in our area, as well as a radio operator at a Veterans Affairs office in Albuquerque, New Mexico, who was just monitoring traffic here in California. PASCOM sent their VP to observe the comms unit during this drill, and he was glad to see that we could reach all of the local repeaters on the mountains north and south of us. PASCOM is the PASS Community Emergency Preparedness Group that a lot of HOAs belong to in the PASS area, but also CAL FIRE and the cities of Banning, Beaumont, and Calamasa all belong to it as well. So it was good that we had a good radio drill for the day when he was here. Of the 21 districts that participated in the drill, there were 14 that submitted data showing how many homes had used cards and how many didn't, et cetera. EPAP has an official resident data Excel workbook, but most districts don't use it. Many do keep track in Excel and have unified data for their whole district, but it's a lot of work to keep that updated for 100+ homes. Instead, many zone captains just maintain their own lists on whatever manner works for them. And sometimes that's a handwritten list with a lot of crossouts on it. And our policy is we just accept whatever data we get and we add it up. And this time it shows that we had 1,800 homes out of 3,300 that actually reported on their data from the drill. 1,240 of those had cards in the window. So that's about 70% of the homes that reported data. 490 had no cards, and about 3% were vacant homes. So it's 70% participation rate, and 30% who weren't home, could be on vacation, could be at work, could be just not participating. So that's the rough numbers from the drill. We'll publish those as well. Again, thank you to all the volunteers who participated. All the zone captains were amazing, and we appreciate all of your hard work. We're maxed out as well. We can use volunteers for anybody who's willing to come out and help at the EOC. We're open to using new help. A lot of coordinators were new this time. Some district delegates were new that were filling in as coordinators, so it's good to see that growth happening. And just note also that the next EPAP executive team meeting will be held in January.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Next is Finance Advisory Committee. On deck, Golf Advisory.
Good afternoon, everyone. Master Board, Management Team, residents. My name is Mary Jo McElwain, and I am the Vice Chairman of the Finance Advisory Committee. Our Finance Committee reviews and analyzes the revenue and expenses of all the departments on our financial statements, all 44 pages of them and then some. We advise and make recommendations to the board based on our reviews and work diligently to provide financial advice to the board for the benefit of the community. We give them additional information needed to make good business decisions. Thank you for the great presentation for the lounge expansion. It totally changed my whole report. The Finance Committee would like to participate with the Procurement Committee, reviewing the plans and completion dates, et cetera, for the lounge expansion. We have building contractors and project managers on our team that would be that are experts in their field, and we'd like to participate in that. Lastly, we are looking forward to 2024 with the same very qualified team members. We recommend the existing 8 members be appointed to our committee. Thank you.
Thank you. Golf Advisory. On deck is Library.
Good afternoon. I'm Mike Callahan, Chairman of the Golf Advisory Committee. The GAC would like to remind all golfers to take action on their pending expiration of book credit or script at the end of the year. In June 2022, the Master Board reinstated the expiration policy paused during the COVID pandemic due to facility closures. What this means is that any book credit earned before December 31st, 2022 will expire on December 31st, 2023. Book credit can be used for purchases in the pro shop or at the restaurant and lounge. The board has provided plenty of advance notice and do not wish to see anyone lose their credit. On behalf of the GAC, I would also like to thank the Master Board for all their hard work and support of golf operations. A special thank you goes to our board liaison, Randy Robbins, who is actively involved with our committee and monthly maintenance inspections. This commitment makes our job much easier since the board is engaged and well-informed. The GAC looks forward to continuing this relationship in the upcoming year to provide residents with the golf facilities we all can be proud of.
Thank you. Library Advisory Committee. On deck, Lifestyles.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Linda Taylor with the Library Committee. I would like to thank all of the fabulous volunteers who showed up to help us set up for the book sale on November 3rd. That's a lot of work, and it was very much needed and very much appreciated. It's very heartening to put out a plea for help and to get such a great response. So thank you. Thanks also to everyone who came to our book sale on November 3rd and bought bags of books and puzzles, only $2 a bag. It's a good deal. All proceeds go into our annual budget, which we use to buy books. This year, we spent the bulk of our book funds on the South Clubhouse, which badly needed more books. So yesterday, we bought a lot of books. The South Clubhouse has mysteries and romances, so we bought those in paperback, but we also bought some Westerns. A lot of them are on the shelf now, and more will be coming in the next few days. So stop by and see what's there. Additionally, we purchased a few large print titles which are housed here in the paperback library. As you hopefully know, the Sun Lakes libraries operate on the honor system. You can borrow books and puzzles and bring them back when you're done. There are no checkout procedures, no fines, just please bring them back. Check your bookshelves at home and return any books you still might have. There are other Sun Lakers who would like to enjoy reading them. Remember what we learned in kindergarten. It's courteous to put things back where we found them, and that includes library books. So as the weather turns cooler and the days become shorter, borrow a book or two and take it home and enjoy it in front of the fire. And as you do, please recall these very wise words from Groucho Marx. It was Groucho who said, outside of a dog, a book is man's best friend. Inside of a dog, it's too dark to read.
Thank you. Lifestyles on deck marketing.
Hi there, I'm Linda Vieira, Chairman of the Lifestyles Advisory Committee. This is our wonderful Lifestyles with another beautiful, beautiful picture from one of our residents. This is the resource most Sun Lakers use to plan for the events of their days, weeks, and months. This magazine tells you what's going on in our advisory committees, clubs and groups, what's happening and coming up in the lounge and restaurant, recreation department, golf course, delegate assembly, and master board. It gives you contact information for almost everyone and everything going on, available in, or coming up in Sun Lakes. Lifestyles is what most residents turn to in order to find out what's going on in the community. It includes articles from the master board, delegate assembly, first service, the restaurant, the golf pro, and all the advisory committees. Clubs and groups send articles and photos to sunlakesnews@yahoo.com by the 6th of each month. The Lifestyles Advisory Committee meets on the 7th, unless that date is a weekend or a holiday, to review and edit the articles submitted for each month's issue of the magazine. To keep updated about events coming up in our community, we meet with Master Board member Lori Hazelton, Assistant General Manager Jason Ewalls, and a Recreation Department Director, hopefully Linda, next. We publish want ads and for sale items at no cost from residents and hide a monthly joke for readers to find. We include paid ads from vendors who have served our residents well. I'd like to also mention that if you have a problem with a vendor that is in Lifestyles, please don't hesitate to contact us at sunlakesnews@yahoo.com, and a resolution will be sought by our publisher, Courtney. Responses to the Get the Joke contest are put in a hat, and a winner is randomly drawn, earning a restaurant gift card as a prize. Photographs taken by residents of areas within Sun Lakes are used on the magazine cover. If you're good at proofreading and are interested in joining us, please fill out a volunteer application form that you can get in the lobby. I'd like to wish everyone a very happy Thanksgiving and holiday season.
Thank you. Marketing Advisory Committee, on deck, Master Architectural.
Good afternoon, Master Board, FSR residents. I'm Michelle Walter, and I'm the chair of the Marketing Advisory Committee. We had our meeting yesterday, November 14th. We are still working on ideas for the logo and for the Sandwich Bar and Grill. Jerry Blodgett is also working on a coupon book with Thomas and Brian for new homeowners to get them to use both of these amenities. The board approved our survey card for new homeowners. We are very hopeful that the replenishment assessment will be approved by our residents. We really need the 75% affirmative vote from our members. The ballots have been mailed out, and the election will occur on December 7th, and all ballots are due at that time. Our next welcome home will be January 25th at 5 o'clock. The following are the stats of the home sales in Sun Lakes from November 1st through yesterday, the 14th. Active or coming soon as of November 14th, 21 homes and 3 condos. In escrow as of November 14th, 19 homes and 3 condos. Closed escrows as November 14th, 5 homes and 2 condos. Average price $404,803. Sales prices are from $299,000 to $500,000. Homes that closed in October were 16 homes, 0 condos. Average price were $379,150. So again, if you take that 276 times 16 homes that sold, that would equal $33,216 that would go towards our replenishment fund. I just want to remind homeowners that the replenishment assessment is a win-win for our community and does not cost us anything. The negative is, if it doesn't pass, our HOA dues would have to increase to meet a 70% funding level. The next date and meeting for advisory is December 12th at 2:30. And I just want to let you know that the community awareness, I know this is not community awareness, but community awareness is dark next month, and our next would be on January 2nd at 1 o'clock here in the main ballroom. Thank you.
Thank you. Master Architectural, on deck, procurement.
Thank you, Master Board. My name is Roy Neerman. I'm the chairman of the Master Architectural Committee. We're having one problem right now, and that's paint colors. So far this year, we've had over 300 applications to paint either the house or the trim, and we've had to turn down almost 40 of those. The reason we've had to turn them down is the colors picked were not from the approved color list. We have over 108 colors that you can choose from. Now, when we bought our homes here, we went through escrow, we signed a whole bunch of papers. One of those papers said that you promised to abide by the rules and regulations and CC&Rs of Sun Lakes Country Club. The regulations and CC&Rs provide that if you paint your house or trim, you will use an approved color. We have 108 of them. The Master Board cannot change the rules and regulations or the CC&Rs, and we don't unless we've been directed by the Master Board to do so. So if you pick a color that's not on the approved list, we're not going to approve it. It just won't happen. Now, reasons for that is you don't want us to substitute our judgment for what we think is a good color for what has been approved by the Sun Lakes Homeowners Association. I might think green's a good color, or blue, or purple, or fluorescent yellow. I can guarantee you that the present Master Architectural Committee will not approve any fluorescent yellow or green or blue homes. But I can't tell you that if you leave it up to us, the Master Board, to choose the colors, that it's not going to happen sometime in the future. If you want to repaint your house, drive around the neighborhood, find a color you like, call planning and compliance and say, this is the home at such an address, what colors are they using. They'll tell you, and then go out and use those colors. And if you continue to do that, we're not going to have any fluorescent yellow homes in this community, I promise. Thank you.
Thank you. Procurement Advisory, on deck, Recreation.
Good afternoon, Master Board, FSR, and fellow members of Sun Lakes. My name is Bob Hicks with the Procurement Advisory Committee. I have nothing to report, mainly because of the moving forward of this open meeting. We don't meet until next Monday, so there's nothing current to report from the last one. But I will say that this particular Monday's meeting should be quite eventful because, among other things on our agenda, we'll be exploring the development of the RFP for the lounge expansion that you heard earlier. And so if anybody is interested in that overall procurement process, I suggest simply that you go to community info on the website, look up committees, look up procurement advisory, and there's an entire handbook there that describes the process that we go through. So it is not necessarily skill related, it is process driven. And so we welcome anyone to come, and also if anyone is interested in actually becoming a permanent part of the Procurement Advisory Committee, that might be an ideal time for you to come to get a good idea of what actually goes on. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Recreation.
I'll be reading the report. Let me get my 3 minutes right here. There we go. Okay, here we go. Recreation update. Weekend entertainment. Join your friends and neighbors from 6:30 p.m. to 9:30 p.m. for evenings filled with music and dancing. Locations subject to change based on weather. Holiday outdoor home decorating contest. Registration beginning Wednesday, November 15th at the main clubhouse front desk. Last day to register is December 1st. Judging will be conducted by the Board of Directors during the week of December 11th. There will be awards for the first, second, and third place winners. Winners will be announced on Monday, December 18th at the Sandwich Bar and Grill during Monday Night Football. District tree lighting, December 1st, main clubhouse ballroom at 5. Come here, district leaders, for your trees. District Christmas trees will be lit up at 5 p.m. I'm sorry, I guess that is that's the main district tree lighting. Sorry, Linda, I apologize for that. Afterwards, come to the ballroom for hot cider, hot chocolate, brownies, cookies, and holiday entertainment. As a reminder, that is December 1st here in the main clubhouse, 5 p.m. Holiday Wish Program, December 13th in the main clubhouse bus room. Debbie Franklin will be here from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. Districts may drop off their family gifts in the bus room. New Year's Eve party, December 31st, main clubhouse ballroom. $60 per person, as I mentioned during the GM report. The event will take place 7 p.m. to 12:30 a.m., so you can ring in the new year. Applications now available at the main clubhouse on the flyers rack. Lottery drop box available beginning November 27th through December 3rd. Jason must not have known I was going to talk about it. Lottery drawing will be held on December 4th at 9:30 a.m., main clubhouse multi-purpose room. You must be present or have an alternate to claim and pick a table. Finally, there are a lot of amazing upcoming days and overnight trips coming up, so make sure to check out the flyers at the front lobby and on the flyers rack. And again, welcome, but Linda Vang to be leading the charge on this. I have time, so that is it.
Thank you. RV storage? On deck, restaurant and lounge?
Good afternoon, board and residents. My name is David Puckett, chair for the RV Lot Committee. We had a committee meeting last month and discussed a variety of topics, made one change to a lease concerning insurance, and all leases have been mailed out now. We have went through the interviews with the volunteers and had one new person to be on the committee in January. We changed our meeting dates from the fourth Thursday of the month to the third Tuesday of the month. Stickering of the lot. We have scheduled our stickering dates for the RV lot to be January 9th and January 16th. Anyone needing their second car overnight pass vehicle stickered, please come by on those days between 9 a.m. and 12 p.m. and the sticker will be applied. In the past, we've had some problems with leasees paying their bill on time in the RV lot. Leases are due on December 15th with a grace period of 30 days. In agreement with administration, anyone not paying the renewals within the grace period will be sent a letter of non-renewal to their lease and will go to our wait list to fill the spots. We have 25 people on a wait list in the RV lot. So don't jeopardize your spot for non-renewal because of non-payment. Your spot will be filled. And that's all I have to report.
Dave, what time are your meetings? You said they've been changed to the third Tuesday. At what time?
1:30.
Thank you.
I hope that fits with you.
It works.
Thank you. Restaurant and Lounge, on deck. Safety Advisory.
Hi, everyone. Marcia Midget with the Restaurant and Lounge Committee. These past few months have been very busy in the restaurant with Monday night football in the Sandwich, the Luau, Oktoberfest, the Monster Mash, and Greek Night. The staff has certainly proved that we have a fantastic amenity in our restaurant to provide wonderful events for our residents. Greek Night was a great success. The food was delicious and over 300 people were served buffet style in 45 minutes. Everyone was patient as their tables were called to get their food in 4 buffet lines. Chef Chris and his staff were on their A game for the evening. You can't have Greek food without baklava, and it was very good. The Greek national anthem was sung by Thomas's 2 young daughters, and his family provided us with entertainment with their incredible dancing to the authentic Greek live music. Also, the Sun Lake Belly Dancers showed their skills to us as well. Now, Greek Night will take place again in November of 2024, so if you've missed it this year, you won't want to miss it next year, with Thomas sharing his proud heritage to the community. We look forward to seeing you there. The Restaurant and Lounge Committee, along with the Recreation Committee, worked all the events by helping with decorating, taking tickets, and signaling tables to move to the buffet for the meal. A special thanks to Debbie Robbins and her team for designing the decorations for all these events. So now what's next? Well, the Thanksgiving feast on September 23rd. The restaurant staff lays out a fabulous buffet meal for you and your loved ones. That's this one right here. 500 tickets are available. 450 have already been sold. So if you want to come, you need to get here soon to get a ticket. There's also Thanksgiving meals to go. They can be picked up on Wednesday, 11/22. So far, 160 meals have been sold. If you don't want to leave home but don't want to cook, ordering a meal to go from our restaurant is the perfect solution. Meals will be distributed between 11 and 3 based on the pickup time on your purchase tickets. You can't cut me off because I have a lot to say today. On November 26th, the end of the month brunch will also include the pasta bar. Other favorites will also be included, and so if you're turkeyed out, come and enjoy a wonderful pasta dish made specifically to your order on the last Sunday of the month. December will be a busy month in the restaurant and the ballroom, with at least 24 banquets planned for the many districts, groups, and clubs we have here in Sun Lakes. The last day of the year, December 31st, will also be busy. The last Sunday brunch will take place from 11:30 to 2. And then the grand finale of the year is the festive New Year's Eve celebration by the Recreation Department. The restaurant staff will top off 2023 with that delicious meal during this fun-filled event. No, you can't make me stop. I have one more thing to say. Finally, I'm teasing. Finally, remember your servers and bartenders this time of the year. They're a great group of people who work diligently to provide you with a country club experience when dining or spending time in the lounge or the Sandwich Bar and Grill. and that our committee also wishes you all a very merry and happy holiday season.
Thank you very much. You just made it. That's okay. Next is safety.
Good afternoon, board, management, residents. My name is Michael Voles. I'm chairman of the Safety Advisory Committee. Today I'm going to give you an overview of the Safety Advisory Committee. We're composed of 9 members. We meet once a month on the 4th Monday of every month. Our responsibility is to advise and make recommendations to the Master Board of Directors on matters of safety and security pertaining to the Sun Lakes community. This includes matters of traffic control, such as stop signs, speed signs, no parking signs, and speed humps. We also levy fines on residents who repeatedly violate Sun Lakes rules and regulations. Our monthly meetings are attended by representatives from the Master Board and representatives from First Service. We receive reports from Gary Burkle or Bob Walter sometimes from the Master Board, and reports from Jason Ewalls and Mark Schleiden from First Service. We also receive a monthly report from Michelle Walter from the Community Awareness Program. In addition, Mike Romero from Securitas attends our meetings and provides his monthly report. Our minutes are taken by Alyssa Anderson from the Compliance Department, and she also prepares information for any hearings that we may have. Hearings are held in closed sessions and occur when a resident receives 3 or more citations within a 90-day period. The violator is sent a letter from the administration inviting them to our meeting, where they have the opportunity to offer an explanation for receiving any citations. As a committee, we listen to what the resident has to say and ask questions. After the resident leaves the room, we have a discussion, then we vote on any motions that are made. Penalties are usually fines, but could be suspension of privileges in Sun Lakes for up to 30 days in serious cases. Examples of violations are parking with an expired pass, parking in a handicap zone without a handicap placard or an expired placard, having a dog off leash, doing home improvement projects on Sundays or holidays, or abusive behavior to another resident or administration. Anybody is welcome and encouraged to attend our open session of our meetings. And let's see here. There have been a number of complaints about vehicles parked in driveways. Please note that in many cases, Securitas cannot issue citations if the vehicle has a handicap plate or a placard. This is a state law. So if you see some vehicles parked in driveways, they may be there legitimately. Theft incidents do occur from time to time. The best way to deter theft is to keep your garage doors closed. So please keep your garage doors closed. Thank you very much. Our committee will be dark in December, and have a happy holiday.
Thank you very much. Next is the consent agenda, which First Service will read for us.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, now back on to your regularly scheduled agenda. Consent agenda items. We have the open session meeting minutes for October 25th. We have a resolution to record lien and on the following accounts. I'll read those to you right now. Those accounts start with 2804-01, 2188-01, 3228-02, 0154-01, 0248-01, 1129-02, 1574-01, 2192-01, 2223-01, 2314-02, 3147-01, and I will be at bingo next time. Next, we have additional items on the agenda for, let me just go down to that. We have some resignations. We want to recognize and accept the resignation of the delegate and alternate delegate from District 5, Delegate Mary Miller, alternate delegate David Miller, but they will be switching, I think, later on in the agenda. From the Bingo Advisory Committee, the resignation of Laura Kosla. The resignation from EPAP Executive Committee, that would be Sonia Nigro has resigned. Resignation from the Recreation Advisory Committee. Want to thank Stephanie Franklin, accepting the resignation from that committee. That would complete the items on the consent agenda for the board to approve.
Thank you. Does any board member wish to pull any agenda item? I need a motion in reference to that.
I move we approve the consent agenda.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Passes 4-0. Next item is the financial packet for the period ending October 31st. I don't believe that's going to be
That's going to be a receive and file.
presented at this time, but we're going to go ahead and review and file
Yes.
that.
You're right, Mr. President, you got it.
Need a motion
So
to
I
review
move to
and file.
receive and file the financial report for October.
I'll second that. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Passes 4-0.
Just a note, Mr. President, if we could, since we will be dark for the month of December, the board treasurer will be giving an update for the months of October, November, and December at the January open session.
Thank you. Next is the approval of the 2024 recreation calendar. Need a motion in reference to that?
I so move.
I'll second.
Any comments from the board or from membership? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Passes 4-0. Next is the approval of the 2024 golf calendar. Need a motion in reference to that?
I move to approve the 2024 golf calendar.
I'll second. Sorry, Lori.
Any comments from the board or from membership? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Passes 4-0. Next is the approval of the 2024 election calendar. Need a motion on that?
I move that we approve the 2024 election calendar.
I'll second.
Tag team.
Any comments from the board or membership? All in favor?
Aye.
Next is appoint district delegate number 5. The alternate delegate would like to switch roles and serve as the delegate. Due to time constraints, the former District 5 delegate was no longer available to serve in that capacity.
I move to approve David Miller as the District 5 delegate.
Second.
Any comments from the board or membership? All in favor?
Aye.
Passes 4-0. Related to that, former District 5 delegate would like to switch roles and serve as the alternate delegate. Need a motion on that appointment?
And I'd move to approve that switch out.
I'll second that also.
Any comments from the board or membership? All in favor?
Aye.
Passes 4-0. Next is Library Advisory Committee members. Recommendation is received from the Library Advisory Committee to appoint the following members to the committee, term from 1/1/24 to 12/31/25. John Hasta, Melody Conley, Harriet Snyder, and Peter Fernandez. Need a motion on that?
I move to approve appointing the 4 that you just read out. Are any of you here? Oh, okay.
I'll second.
They're in the library.
They're in the Thank you for volunteering.
Do we have a second on that?
She
Yes.
seconded.
Okay. Any comments from the board or membership? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Next is Marketing Advisory Committee. A recommendation has been received from the Market Advisory Committee to appoint B. Mercado from 1/1/24, term ending to 12/31/25. Need a motion on that?
I move to approve B. Mercado to the marketing.
I'll
committee.
second that. Any comments from the board or membership? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Passes 4-0. Next, Master Architectural Committee members. I need a motion in reference to the Master Architectural Committee members being appointed: Roy Neerman, Jerry Howe, David Keeley, Lila Walden, and Helen Mitchell. The term is 1/1/24 to 12/31/24.
I move to approve the appointment of those 5.
I'll second that.
I know some of you are here. If you don't mind standing, Roy, Jerry, David, Lila.
Yes. Yeah,
Is Helen here?
The whole row.
Yeah. Thank you for volunteering.
Yes. And this is a very difficult, time-consuming committee, so thank you again for your service. All in favor?
Aye.
Passes 4-0. Next is Procurement Advisory Committee members. Recommendation was received from the Procurement Advisory Committee to appoint the following members, term of 1/1/24 to 12/31/25. Lawrence Davis, Robert Hicks, Raylene Kretschmann, Anthony Peters, and Ron Varner. Need a motion on that?
I
So-
move that we appoint those people you just read off to the Procurement Advisory Committee.
I'll second that.
And again, I know some of you are here. If you would stand, please.
Bob's already
Or,
standing.
or at least raise your hand. Thank you, gentlemen.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Passes 4-0. A lot of committees here to get appointed.
Yeah.
Next is Restaurant and Lounge Advisory Committee, recommending
you
Linda
missed
Spalding
recreation.
and Debbie Robbins be appointed 1/1/24 to 12/31/25.
Yeah. I move to approve Linda Spalding and Debbie Robbins to the Restaurant and Lounge Committee.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye. And I know both of you are here, if you don't mind standing.
I'm abstaining.
You're abstaining, yeah. And Randy, you forgot Rick.
And we need to go back to K.
Yes, we have Recreation Advisory Committee members. Christine Chase, Connie Kuttner, Raylene Kretschmann, Toll Johnson, and Marty Stegel, filling in the remaining term of former committee member.
I
Need a
move-
motion on that?
I move approval.
I'll second.
Any comments from board or membership? All in favor?
Aye.
Any of you here? Any of these people? It's always nice to put a face to a name. Don't be
Pass-
shy.
Passes 4-0. Next is approve the charter for the Finance Advisory Committee. Need a motion on that?
I move to approve the charter for the Finance Advisory Committee.
I'll second.
Any comments from the board? Yes, I'd like to make a comment that since our treasurer is not present, I think it would be wise to table this or wait for a future date. I just think it would be more appropriate to have his input, and he's not here tonight.
I agree.
I'd like to make a comment on that. We have been working on, excuse me, on the charters for several months now and have gone through them more than once. These charters are subject to change again. With the OPA committee that we've got going, that's part of all that they'll be looking at. The intention behind this is to look at the finance charter was written by people who are no longer on that and is very all-encompassing. The new charter tones it down a little bit so that it's about finance and not about everything, and that's why we're looking at doing that. It will change again, I can tell you that, but that's why I brought it up.
Any other comments from the board or from membership? All in favor of the recommendation to approve the new charter?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Aye.
Wait, to approve the new, I thought you said we were going to table it.
No, let's
Well, there's a
re-vote on
motion.
that. Let's re-vote on that. I think it was
I'm
confusion.
confused.
Just for
Okay.
clarification, the motion on the table is to approve the charter as is attached in the agenda. There was a second. So what you are going to vote on, for clarification, is to approve the
Approve or
charter
not to approve.
as included. If you do not wish to approve it, then you would vote to
Oppose.
no, to oppose approval of that.
So
Okay,
we're-
but Bob, I thought you said we were going to table it. You wanted to table
No,
it.
that was
That
my.
was his
That was his
suggestion.
comment.
That was
He
my
did not.
comment.
He didn't
My
make a
comment is that
subsidiary
I-
motion.
I think it should be tabled.
So, Bob, you could do a subsidiary motion to table it, and if it's seconded, it will be immediately tabled.
And I could also
You could
rescind
second
my
that.
second.
You could also second the tabling of it.
Let's vote on the first motion, and that way you can get it resolved all at once.
Right.
All in favor of the first motion to approve the finance charter without input from our treasurer?
Aye.
Aye.
All opposed?
Aye.
So
Does
now
not-
we're at
It does
it.
not pass.
Does not
Aye.
pass.
Motion fails.
It does not pass. The next item is 60-day reading of draft rules and regulations.
Yes, staff can give a quick update on this on a report and then let the board weigh in and community. This is a staff report for draft rules and regulations. After receiving a few comments at the beginning of the year on the first draft of the updated rules and regulations, the ad hoc Rules and Regulations Committee reconvened and went through them again, taking into consideration the comments that were made. The draft has been completed and legal has had a chance to go through it and weigh in. It is on today's agenda for the board to approve to have it go out to the community for a 60-day reading. It will then be placed on the January open session for final approval. Now, the draft will be available on the website under, if you go scroll to Community Info, Governing Documents, Sun Lakes Country Club, Rules and Regulations, you will find those draft rules and regulations. But if you wish to check out a hard copy, copies will be made available at the main clubhouse front desk where Felicia is, as well as the front desk in the administration office where Monica sits. My commentary on this is this has been an item, rules and regulations have been going through, I believe, for maybe 2.5 years. So again, this is just getting to the point now where it's going to go out for a 60-day reading. Members can comment during that time. It will come back in January at the open session. The board can approve it, ask for it to go out for another 60 days if there's commentary on that. But that's the process. They're just approving today the 60-day reading, giving 60 days for the members to go through, look at it, and make comments on.
Thank you. I need a motion in reference to that.
I move to approve a 60-day reading of the rules and regulations
I'll
draft.
second that. Any comments from the board or from membership?
If the rules and regulations that you're talking about will finally be approved, will they replace the ones that are in the phone book?
Yes.
Yes.
That would be next October's phone book.
This October will not have this revision, so the phone book is going to go out if the rules and regulations are approved in January. They'll be on the website, they'll be there, but the phone book will be incorrect. I'm sorry, that's right, Tammy, the phone book will not have rules and regulations in it.
All right. Any other comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Passes 4-0.
Linda Vang, please report to the front desk.
Is she coming? Is she? Okay.
Finally figured that out.
So Linda will be doing the clock management for this, as well as holding up. So there, Linda, there you go. Thank you.
It's a tough job, but somebody has to do it. Okay, next is homeowner comments. Remember to keep your comments positive, respectful, and within 3 minutes. Thank you. First is Al Jaskar.
Deputy Master Board for service and members. Al Jaskar, City View, sorry. Brookside Drive. 3 weeks ago, I reported my street sign tilted. It's still tilted, as are many others in the neighborhood. The second item I wanted to mention was that Chris mentioned the Spectrum budget, or the Spectrum contract. As many of us know, our phones go dead when we have a power failure. That's because the Spectrum doesn't provide a battery for the modem that's in our garage. Now, many of our residents are older people that either don't have a cell phone or perhaps can't use them well. So I would recommend that in the contract, either Spectrum provides batteries for those modems, or at least gives the option to the homeowners to purchase a battery for their modem, which would then keep their their hardwired phones active during a power outage. Thank you.
Thank you. Next, Linda Spalding.
I was waiting for you to say on deck. Linda Spalding, Brooklawn Drive. I want to take this moment to thank everyone who has supported Pitch Putt Party. We've had approximately 40 to 60 golfers come out on the executive course. After we play 9 holes, we come up here for dinner and drinks. And I want to say this new activity has contributed about $2,500 a month to the restaurant and lounge, so I'm really pleased with that. We are dark for December and January and hope weather will allow us to pick back up in February. I'm hoping to get approval to do a pitch putt and party with glow balls for charity week. So that could be a new.
Look at David.
You say yes? Thank you all. It's been so much fun doing pitch and putt, and we've had people come out that don't play golf, and they just still have a good time. It's been a great activity, and I look forward to it continuing to grow in 2024. Thank you so much. Please remember, vote for replenishment, the triple R, refresh, replenishment, reserve.
You got
Thank
it.
you.
Thank you very much, and thank you for coordinating that pitch and putt. It's a great event. Next, Sue Savage.
Good afternoon, board members, First Service Management, and fellow residents. I am Sue Savage on Indian Canyon Drive. The master board is very powerful. It can promote us to modify our CC&Rs, causing us to pay $2,100 every time we sell our house. The board has the power to increase our HOA dues, $19, which is going to do beginning in January. The state of California gives the board their power in civil code, otherwise known as the law. The same civil code requires the board to produce requested documents within 10 business days if the records are from this year. In private, I requested the board and their management company provide the August and September bank statements. Did you know we have 12 account statements for September? However, only 10 bank account statements for August. Do you think we opened 2 new accounts in September when we already had 10 accounts in August? Maybe. I don't know about you, but I need all of the pages of a bank statement to balance my account. The board and their management company chose not to provide all of the pages for all of the requested documents. They omitted many pages from many accounts. The same law allowing them to collect HOA dues from us allows me to take them to court for not providing all pages of all requested documents. So I am taking the board and their management company to court. Court is scheduled in public at Small Claims Court in Banning on Monday, December 18th at 1:30 in the afternoon. The public is allowed to attend,
Let her speak.
meaning you can see it in person if you want to attend. Sun Lakes Country Club, Homeowners Association, and First Service Residential California, LLC, have the paperwork. We will see you in Banning Small Claims Court on Monday, December 18th at 1:30, in public.
Thank you very much. Next is Bob Messier. Bob? Bob Messier. Thank you very much. Yeah, we're just doing the comments right now.
Good afternoon, board, management, and residents. My name is Bob Messier. I live at 844 Pine Valley Road. I commend the board on going ahead with the assessment or the organizational policy assessment. It's something that's badly needed, and over the next few months, the assessment should develop detailed organizational structure. This is for the master board and the management company. Should also produce policies, procedures, functional responsibilities, but most importantly, it should create a decision-making authority. All that we have never had before. All of which is essential to a management company agreement. Now listen closely. Why then is the board negotiating an FSR agreement before the organizational assessment is complete? Or has it already signed an agreement? With FSR's poor performance, why would the board not go out for proposals to compare and easily reduce management cost? If they sign an agreement, the result will be more of the same poor FSR management without a means to control them, and the residents will pay even more than we have paid to date. The board is trying to make decisions that a future board of 2024 should, since they will have to live with it. And decisions for the Sun Lakes community, future constraints with management and financial burden. The board and FSR have proven they cannot manage food and beverage. Even with a $500,000 loss allowance in food and beverage, by the end of the year, food and beverage will lose $1 million. Just for 2023. FSR only had 5 years of training to get it right and still failed. With these kind of losses due to poor management, how can this board want to sign an agreement with FSR? This brings to mind the board's plan on the lounge, which you saw earlier. Has there been a feasibility study, a financial feasibility study for this project? This is not a cheap project, and it's CIP money that are reserves that could be used for other purposes. This board's legacy will be that they failed the community and left it and 2024 board with a future financial burden and poor management when they had the chance to do it right.
Thank you very much. Yep. You'll have the opportunity to vote in the upcoming election. Next is William Blakesley.
Board members, residents, board members, residents. Quickly, my name is William Blakesley. I have lived at 5072 East Breckenridge Avenue for the past 7.5 years. First off, I'd like to apologize to the master board members for the offensive email I sent you last week. I'm sorry. I mean it. However, East Breckenridge Avenue is a very dangerous street. Half a mile long on a steep incline with no speed bumps. 7.5 years I've lived on that freeway, and I've done everything possible to get speed bumps installed. Never happened. I don't know who's running that administration down there, but they should go down there and start cleaning house because they're incompetent. Shame on Sun Lakes Country Club for letting a dangerous residential street like that exist. Thank you.
Normally I won't respond, but I will here. William, is that maybe you weren't,
Talking to
yes, maybe you weren't here last week. but
No, I wasn't here, Bob.
Oh, excuse me, last month, but let me explain. We did approve a speed bump. We did approve. So yes, we did approve it. So it's pending. A speed bump, and a matter of fact.
Just one? We need two, Bob.
Well, the recommendation was one, and we approved the recommendation. So it's forthcoming, and if you don't mind it near your property, it will be.
No, I don't mind it at
Okay.
all.
It will be forthcoming. I just want to let you know that.
Thank you very much, board members.
You're welcome.
And again, I'm sorry.
That's okay. Next is Lyndon Taylor.
My name is Lyndon Taylor. A little bit about my background. I have a degree in management, a PhD from Claremont. I've served on 10 boards of directors. I've also been a consultant in organizational master planning. I'm very concerned about the
Hang on.
Hey, let's have proper decorum in here. Sorry. Go ahead.
I'm very concerned about the deteriorating status of two areas of our operation as a homeowners association. I'm speaking primarily of golf and food services. The golf function for some time has lost large sums of money every month for the past 16 months. Less than 10% of our residents have purchased golf memberships, and the yearly negative cash flow from golf is reported to be $2.3 million. A more accurate estimate reveals a figure even higher than that. Similarly, food services is also a financial loser. The restaurant and lounge has lost money every month for the past 15 months. Their best month, they only lost $19,000. Their worst month, they lost over $138,000. Less than 10% of our residents use these facilities. Projections call for a total loss in 2023 of approximately $1 million. Taken together, golf and food services require homeowners' dues support of approximately $125 a month. That's money out of our pocket. It's abundantly clear that we need significant change in the operation of these two entities. I'm hereby calling for the board to give us a written response on the following points. Number one, an analysis of food services employment, number of workers, job descriptions, hours of employment, and salaries. 2, food and beverage supply costs. 3, number of meals served per month and the cost per meal. 4, a projection of golf participation and income if we provided surrounding communities such as Four Seasons with access for their residents to our golf course. 5, a projection of golf participation and income if golf memberships were provided to the general Banning community. And 6, a projection of participation if we open food and beverage services to the community. I request that this be placed on the agenda of the next board meeting and a full response be provided to the membership.
Thank you very much. Next is Ajit.
Master Board administration and members, I want to right at the beginning say that when I talk about FSR, I'm not referring to Tammy, Jason, or Chris, who, in my opinion, do a very good job, except when Chris responds to issues related to FSR. Okay. But when I talk about FSR, I'm talking about FSR headquarters, the company itself, the company with who you do any negotiations. So 2 topics I'd like to cover. One is that the survey I'm conducting, seeking to find out if there is support within the community to compel the board to force FSR's financial transparency, is well underway. We have received well over 550 responses, with only 3% in opposition and 97% in complete support. If that's not a very strong vote, I don't know what is, and I hope the board will take that into consideration in the current negotiations and include that. If you don't, it'll be very deeply disappointing to me and all those who responded and the majority of the community. I'm again requesting everyone who has not taken the survey to please take it. We would like greater participation. Send me an email if you have not received the survey. I'm in the telephone book. Now, earlier on, Chris presented top 10 vendors that I'd asked for. Thank you very much, Chris. I think 9 of the figures were very good. I think there's a problem with the 10th figure, and that is FSR. It falls way short of complete disclosure of all fees and commissions that are charged by FSR. And I'll be glad to sit down with the board and you to discuss it, Chris. Okay. It is incomplete. Also the management report that you said that you would include it in is not the right place to include it, and for a variety of reasons. No one knows what the management report is. I don't think most people here even have read it. It did not exist before March of this year. The August one was not even filed. So it's almost like the management report can be here today, gone tomorrow. It's not referred to in the in the contract that we sign. So it has no standing. So it needs to be, that information you provide has to be in the financials. Furthermore, the financials can be audited. The management report can be. If there is an error there, we'll never find out about it. So please, take that into consideration also. I'm very willing to meet with the board if the board wants me to do that and go over it again. So before Linda cuts me off, I think I'll take off.
Thank you. Any other comments from membership? Board comments, Beverly?
I do. We spoke about several of the comments. Chris stole some of my thunder. The coffee with the board, we did that this past Monday, and we had about half a dozen people who came. Thank you for showing up. It's a change in habit. We're used to doing the first Monday at 3. Now it's the second Monday at 10. So in December, it will be December 11th in the library, 9 o'clock, not 10, 9 o'clock. Don't listen to me, I don't know what I'm saying. It's 9 o'clock on December 11th. We will have coffee, and if one of us gets so inspired, we might even bake some goodies. But it's an opportunity to come talk about the big picture of what's happening in Sun Lakes. If you have a situation that is specific to you, something that you need to have taken care of for yourself, that's where message from management comes. And we talked about that earlier. That's a great way to get it in writing and send it to management. Jason usually handles that, and they can work directly with you on your unique situation. But if you will come on the second Monday, I'm going to have all of us confused, including me. 9 o'clock, then we can talk about more of a bigger picture of what's going on here in Sun Lakes. The CCNR amendment vote. This is going to be just like when we do the annual election. So it is, we call the meeting to order at 9 o'clock. The board will do that. The ballots, if you haven't had a chance to mail your ballot by December 2nd, you can walk it in and turn it in between 8 and 9 o'clock. Then we'll call the meeting to order and recess so that all of the ballots can be counted. Then the delegates will do their thing, and they will vote their district based upon the ballots that they received, and then it'll be the end result will be announced. So it's just like the annual. It's something that you can come and attend and watch and see what they were doing. Thursday night football, everybody be there tomorrow night. Ought to be a lot of fun. And finally, I just want to say happy holidays. This is the last open session before the end of the year. We will not have an open in December unless things change for some odd reason. So I just want to wish all of you a wonderful holiday season, full of friends, family, and fun. Thank you.
Thank you. Lori?
Yes, I just want to start by wishing everybody a happy Thanksgiving. I hope you have wonderful times, wonderful food, and wonderful memories are made. Chris, you actually stole what I was going to talk about as well. But I just wanted to say that recently Bob and I had the honor to judge the doggy Halloween costume contest, and it was just a pleasurable experience. The dogs were adorable, the owners were adorable. It was a good time. It was good fun, and those dogs were, it was hard to pick. We had a hard time. Okay, so that's really all I have.
Thank you very much. Randy?
Yeah, I just have a couple things. The dog park initiative is right now we're in a waiting game, waiting on hear from Kinder Morgan, where one of the easements is within our community. They have not gotten back to us. They historically are terrible about getting back to us, from what I understand. That's one area that we're looking into, and so that's basically on hold for right now. So just to let everybody know, you might hear rumors otherwise, but at this point, it's on hold till we can hear if we can use any of the easement areas. Second thing, again, being the last meeting of the calendar year, I want to thank all the committees for everything you've done all year long. One comment I am going to make on a comment made tonight is there are some people in this community, as we just heard from one, that does understand financials very well. The management report that was put out for some of the people that don't understand financial reports. We directed First Service to do it. It wasn't done willy-nilly. It wasn't done periodically. It was a direction that this board gave to Chris Mitchell and his staff to please create something so that, for lack of a better phrase, the layman's within our community understand what is going on in the community, financial and otherwise. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I just wanted to mention a few things that this board has accomplished in the past year. Our role here is to maintain and enhance this community. We can't control what's going to happen across the street. Hopefully it'll be a favorable outcome, but we don't know. So what we have done this past year, and I'll list a few of the items, we upgraded the carpeting and painting and new chairs in the main ballroom, new tables and carpeting for the billiard room, new pickleball complex, funded by Capital Improvement Fund. If you know the distinction and difference, has nothing to do with HOA fees or increases. New shades for the bocce courts, funded by Capital Improvement Fund. New ice machine for the pool, funded by Capital Improvement Fund. A renovation of the Sandwich Bar and Grill, mostly funded by the Capital Improvement Fund. New TVs for the North and South Clubhouse for the clubs and members to use them on an ongoing basis, also funded by Capital Improvement Fund. New chairs that have been ordered in Ardinia for the North and South Clubhouse, and planning for the lounge expansion, which is scheduled for sometime next year. And 3/4 of that is also funded by the Capital Improvement Fund. We're here to make sure this remains one of the premier retirement communities here in Southern California, and I think that they've done a very good job, and I want to thank all of the members and all of the volunteers, the district delegates, you know, the chairs and all the people on the committees, everybody for helping out and enabling us to have such a beautiful, safe community. Last, enjoy Thanksgiving with your friends and family and have a happy holiday. Thank you. Meeting adjourned.